Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, sponsored by HealthWest. Great organization, great medical group to talk to. Give them a holler, give them a Google wherever they're closest to you, and find an opportunity to take your loved ones and your friends and family over there and give them a holler. Also sponsored by New Clean. We're repping some of their gear today and commercial cleaning services. So if you need any janitorial services, including carpet cleaning to tile and grout services to just disinfecting services of your offices, we have great solutions when it comes to that. Give us a holler. All right. I just got back this previous week from a weekend training in Las Vegas. And I think I've talked about the book in the past, Never Split the Difference. A gentleman named Chris Voss. He's like the head negotiator for the FBI. He was at one point for hostage negotiations. And we were able to get trained by him. But before, I'll get a little bit into that. I'm not going to give you all the meat and potatoes on that because it cost me a lot of money to go to that training. And I believe, those who pay attention. So if you want to go to that training, pay and go to it. But before we got into that, I'm part of another group that helps us learn how to buy businesses and to grow our businesses. And we went over our game plan for 2025. And I thought, you know what? Let's talk about that today. Because how many of us get into the new year and think, you know what? It's going to be a good year, but I really don't have anything planned. I don't really have any goals or benchmarks that I've set to make it a better year, or know how to measure that it's even a better year. Hopefully by this time, if you're a long listener of this podcast, hopefully you have a clean purchase, P&L statement. Hopefully you have a clean balance sheet to go off of. If you don't, you got to go back and take care of that first, because what you don't measure, you can't manage. So going into 2025, do you have any kind of clear vision, what you want to accomplish? I know some of us are so busy that we're just like, oh man, I don't have a vision. I'm scheduled out. A lot of us in the service businesses, I know a lot of you plumbers, electricians, HVAC people, just repairmen in general are scheduled out to the max. I had a repair guy at my house this morning, actually, repairing a refrigerator. And he's like, I can't keep up. I've got to find more techs. And once I get these techs trained up, then they leave to start their own businesses, which this gentleman I was talking to was, in the retirement age. So, it's foolishness for these people to start their own businesses, in my mind, thinking, why not, be trained by this guy that has this sage wisdom, and then have him sell his business to you. You have a fully functioning business with systems in place that you can just buy. You don't have to build it from the ground up, because we all know many startups fail. You have something that's proven, this company's probably been around for 20, 30 years or more. But anyways, have a clear vision in mind. I want to get too sidetracked this episode. Mission statement, what's your mission statement? What are you trying to accomplish? What's the culture? What exactly are you trying to do? Like, to your end goal of your clear statement, what are you trying to do in the next 5 to 10 years with your business? Are you trying to have an exit soon? Are you trying to grow a huge conglomerate? Or are you trying to just become this boutique vendor? Whatever it is, be clear about what you're trying to do. And then your points of culture. We talked about points of culture, your core values. Have that kind of stuff in mind. Not just in mind, but written down. Like, okay, this is going to help you hire. This is going to help you hire the right people. So you don't just bring on a bunch of Karens. And I don't know what's the male version of a Karen, but you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to bring those people on. They'll wreck your organization. And then when it comes down to 2025, break it down into the 4 quarters. Have literally just 3 goals per quarter. And then print that out, plop it in your office somewhere you're going to see it every day, and include your team in this vision. So they see, okay, this is what we're shooting for Q1. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get some, create a proven marketing and referral system, whatever, and then push, 15 to 20% year growth, whatever it is. Make it measurable, something like that. Maybe get, I don't know, whatever your industry is. Maybe increase your leads, by 20%, increase your bids by, 15%. I don't know, but make it measurable, these goals. It can't just be like, hey, I want to have a bigger company by the end of Q3. Cool. Well, bigger what? Bigger turnover, bigger lawsuits, bigger what? Like, be specific, people. So do that now. Like, you do all the way through 2025, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And then if you get to end of Q1, you're like, man, I'm ahead of schedule. Okay, modify your goals. This is great. But give yourself something to shoot for. And I think a lot of us, me included, I've gotten myself into this many times before where, I'm like, things are going good. There's not any major fires to put out. Yeah, there's always issues that we have to deal with, but I don't have to be killing myself. So I'm not going to just reinvent the wheel. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying be more clear with your goals. Understand what you're trying to accomplish for the year and for the next 5 years. Because if you know you're trying to accomplish something in the next 5 years, then that goal's got to be a bigger goal. So you can have these 1-year goals, turn them into quarterly goals, so you know what you have to accomplish to get to that 5-year goal. Because it just you just don't wake up on year 5 like, hey, got it. You got to be specific. You got to have things to measure things by. So, and if you're not that guy, you're not that gal that does, that likes to be specific, and you've been running your business for a while, and you can afford to have a good operator involved, bring someone involved like that, and you watch. If you bring someone in with a good track record, what they can do to grow your business. And if they don't, give them clear objectives of what you want them to do. And if they fail, that's okay. You're not married to them. So break things down into quarterly goals for the year. Have yourself, a clear vision. Put yourself a mission statement together, what you're trying to accomplish as an organization, as a company, and have core values established. So what do you stand for? You know what your non-negotiables are. Unless you want to just call it, in this company, we like to lie, cheat, and steal, then go ahead, hire all the liars and cheaters and stealers you can find and see how long that lasts. See how long your company lasts. But you need to find those opportunities to better your company, and being clear on your objectives will help you get there. So I'm telling you all this because I've made the mistakes myself in the past. This will help you get to the next level. I'm still trying to get to that next level and to the next level above. So we're all trying to continue to push ourselves. So let's just make it easier for ourselves and measure things. Okay, guys, go out there, be happy, be grateful, find opportunities to serve others, Stay warm in this cold, cold weather. And just go out there and dominate this year. Okay? Adios, guys. See ya.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.